The roll call first. So just Landis agent, just note you're here as we go through.
Yep, here.
Okay. Bailey,
Here.
Doug,
Here.
Emilio.
Here.
Oh, good. Betsy,
Here.
Al,
Here.
Jack here.
And new
And this-
member, we have a new member.
And we have a new member. There you are. Hi, Dean. Welcome.
Hi.
Just everybody else, this is Dean Bibas. He recently joined. I assume you got sworn in?
Yep, I did. I just
Good.
the Bible and everything. You got it.
Oh, okay, good. Lanus, anything else we need to add to start the meeting?
So you just did the roll call?
Yes.
That's fine. Just for anyone who's listening in, this is a meeting of the Conservation Commission, and the same rules of a public hearing apply, that the chairman will ask people, abutters, if they have comments when it's time to do that. And if you could just stay muted until the chairman recognizes you to speak. That just keeps the background noise out of the public hearing process. And that's pretty much it.
Okay. Dean, from what we do is read into the record the advertisement for the given hearings, and then we go to Landis and through the commission. And then we do open it up to the public. Applicant also is in and makes their presentation. So if you have any concerns during our questions while we're proceeding, go ahead and bring up your question, but that's basically how we work. You'll, I think, get the picture. So this is the Town of Walpole request for determination of applicability, land disturbance permit, Conservation Commission public hearing. In accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, Town of Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw, and Stormwater Erosion and Control Bylaw, notice provided given the intent of RDZ Associates to subdivide a lot, construct single-family homes at 24/38 Peach Street, portion of which are proposed within 100 feet of bordering vegetated wetlands and requires a land disturbance permit. Plans are on file at the Conservation Commission office. Public hearing on the above matter will be held in Walpole Town Hall or via virtually accessible video on April 14th, 2021, beginning at 7 p.m. All interested persons requested to be present. So representing the applicant.
Mr. Chairman, Dan Merrick with Legacy Engineering.
Okay, you want to proceed with your presentation?
Sure. I'm gonna share my screen here so you guys can see the project. Okay, everyone see that? Okay. So again, Dan Merrick with Legacy Engineering here on behalf of the applicant RDC. This is a...
Excuse me, Dan. What sheet are you on as you're going through these, just so we can follow those who have the plans?
This is the second sheet. This is the key sheet, just to give you an idea of where the project is. And then I'll zoom out and you'll be able to see what's going on. So this is an application for two things. One is a request for determination of applicability. And two is a land disturbance permit application. And it's for a subdivision of 5 lots. And it's for property at 38. And I apologize.
Somebody needs to unmute.
You mean mute?
No, I'm sorry, that's my dogs.
Oh, yeah, mute
They're
your
barking.
dog.
They're barking at the neighborhood dogs who are walking by. I apologize for this. So, as I was saying, this is 38 Peach Street is situated here on Peach between High Plain and Washington. And this is an existing single-family home that is going to be demolished, and we're going to re-subdivide into a 5-lot subdivision. So I'm going to zoom out here a little bit so you can see. So this is the second sheet of the plan set. This is the existing condition. So we have the residence at 38 Peach Street, which is an existing home with a driveway. And then there's actually 3 lots on the property presently, only one of which is occupied by the home. The other 2 are vacant. And then there's a small piece of land on the back end of 24 Peach Street, which is part of the project as well, where we have all uplands on site. Off-site to the north, we have an isolated vegetated wetland here. It's been flagged by our botanist. And you can see that we have a 25-foot buffer zone here, which is off-site. And then the 100-foot buffer zone for that extends into our property a little bit here. What we are proposing to do is to subdivide the land into 5 lots. So this is a subdivision process, so it involves the planning board, which we've applied to. We have our first meeting with them on the 6th of May. It involves the construction of a road that's 325 feet long and to service the 5 lots. So we have lot 1 here, lot 2 in this area, lot 3 at the end of the cul-de-sac, lot 4 here, and then lot 5 on the corner of the new road and Peach Street. This is a standard subdivision development, so we are providing a road that complies with the subdivision regulations for the town of Walpole. We have a paved road with a sidewalk on one side, and then we have each of these lots. And I'm going to talk first about our erosion and sediment control strategies, and then I'll talk about the stormwater management. We are disturbing, it's basically a 2-phase project, as all subdivisions are. Phase 1 is the construction of the road itself. That's about 1.5 acres of work involved in all the stormwater management and road construction activities. And then the construction of the lots is also, that's phase 2. When the road is done, you start to build your lots out. So we view that as a second phase, and that involves an additional acre or so of disturbance to build the homes on each of the 5 lots. For sediment and erosion control, what we are planning to do, this is a small property. The soils are very good out here. A lot of sand and gravel. Some of the soils are loamy sand, but still highly permeable, very good. So for this project, we are proposing a perimeter barrier of erosion control, which will consist of a compost sock, a 10-inch compost sock, along with a orange snow fence to basically clearly demarcate the limit of work for the contractors so that they understand where they're not supposed to go. We don't see the need at this point for any temporary sediment basins, but we do have a stormwater pollution prevention plan in place that does require that if there are any sediment issues during construction, that a temporary sediment basin would be constructed. And again, with very pervious sand and gravel soils, that would be an easy thing to accomplish there. Once the road is installed, there's 2 pairs of catch basins in the road. There are no catch basins in the street until you get downstream about 200, 300 feet. So once we get these catch basins installed, they'll be protected with silt sacks for the duration of the remainder of construction. From a stormwater management standpoint, we are proposing 3 stormwater basins. So we have, as I mentioned, 2 pairs of catch basins, a pair here and a pair here. Those are our pre-treatment devices. And then they discharge through a pipe into a sediment forebay in the stormwater basin. So we have a forebay here and a forebay here and a forebay here. And then that leads into an infiltration basin. And as I mentioned, again, the soils are good out here. We did test pits with the town engineer. So that's all been witnessed and it's all described in the stormwater report that we submitted. Basically, the rear 2 basins, this is basins 1 and 2, they work in tandem. There's a pipe that connects them underneath the road. So they're basically, think of them as one stormwater basin because that's what they are. they collect runoff and there's a level pipe between the two so that whatever the water level is in one, it will be in the other. Those two are designed to capture runoff, treat runoff, and infiltrate runoff. And then there's a small overflow swale that discharges to the northeast towards the existing isolated wetland. That is really the only work that we have before you now that's in the buffer zone to that IVW is the construction of this swale and this outfall. It's a very small discharge. The discharge pipe, while it's a 12-inch pipe, it actually only has a 4-inch orifice that leads to that pipe. So it's not letting a lot of water out of there. These basins, we are recharging far more runoff than is technically required under the stormwater management standards. We have a significant reduction in peak rate of runoff and total volume of runoff in every design storm. We're using the NOAA Atlas 14 design storms for the project as required by your regulations. The third basin is the one out front that picks up basically the runoff from the first half of the road or so. That's an infiltration basin. It's designed to capture and infiltrate all of the runoff up and through the 100-year storm. We've oversized that basin. It has a 1.5 feet of freeboard, actually 1.6 feet of freeboard, instead of the usual 1 foot, just to provide an extra margin of safety there. But we have some nice soils here, so that's designed to pick up all this runoff from the mouth and also from this home on lot 1 and infiltrate that into the ground. So let's see, we have provided you with a subdivision plan that outlines all of these design features. We have provided you with a comprehensive stormwater report that includes an operation and maintenance plan, the DEP checklist, a narrative of how all these drainage systems work, HydroCAD calculations, a SWIP, a stormwater pollution prevention plan that outlines in significant detail specific measures that will be taken during construction to prevent the discharge of sediments or the erosion of materials offsite during construction. Those documents have yet to be reviewed by your town engineer. I understand that he hasn't had a chance to get to that yet, which is no problem. As I mentioned, we're not appearing before the planning board until May 6th. So I'm just here to give you a presentation of the project to answer any questions you might have about it. And then we'll be requesting a continuance till I think your second meeting in May, which will give us an opportunity to appear before the planning board and also to review and respond to comments that have been raised by Landis and also that will be raised by the town engineer when he has an opportunity to review the documents we submitted. And with that, I will be happy to answer any questions you might have.
Thank you. Will Landis?
Yep. So I have a list of questions that I included in my conservation report. Some which Dan has already addressed, others which we will address when I sit down with Carl. Both Carl and I sit down with Dan. One is so you have no emergency overflow. I guess the basin 3 you're saying is just infiltration basin and it's sized for the 100-year flow, so you don't feel like it needs an outflow at all, emergency outflow. But we can talk that over with the town engineer. And the phasing plan. What's the other thing? Yeah. Most of these questions we can just go over with the town engineer of how the basins were designed and the also protecting the basins during construction too, just because they are infiltration basins, we want to make sure they're protected from compaction. So that should be included. If it's not, I know you submitted a lot of information, which I went over some, but not all, because I like also to have the engineer present the project first to go over these issues rather than having to hunt and peck and find everything in the documentation.
We'll meet with Landis and Carl.
Yeah.
And review any kind of detailed technical questions they have. And, we'll be issuing a revision set, responding to any questions that are raised, and we'll tackle any of those issues that are brought up at that time.
I will say, Chairman, that I did go out to the site with Dan and we walked the site and I reviewed the wetlands area, the little isolated wetlands right there, and then the other wetlands that's off site, which is a stream that goes into the pond, and verified that those were delineated correctly. So I don't have any issues with the wetlands delineation and issuing a negative determination for that.
Okay. Dean, do you have any questions or comments?
Sure do. I got a question on, I know the phasing is here in one of Landis' questions, but are you guys going to clear cut all of this, or are you going to just build your roads, build your stormwater basins, and then when the lots are sold, build lots individually?
I don't know the answer to that question yet. I'm going to consult with the applicant on that topic. The applicant is going to construct all the homes here, so it's not like they're just building a road to sell lots. The applicant will be developing all the homes, so
They're gonna build.
he may cut all the lots at the same time as the road. I will ask him that, and I will get an answer to you on that topic.
Great. And then I'm concerned about the stockpiling of soil. If you're going to be digging 5 foundations, do you guys, they're going to build, I'm sure there's going to be some phasing, but if we're going to be building a couple houses at a time, it will generate a lot of soil. So I'm concerned where you're going to be stockpiling that and its impact on erosion for the site.
Sure, we have stockpiling provisions in the SWIP plan that basically stipulate that they need to be protected with erosion control barriers, but we can add some stockpiling areas to the plan. With respect to foundations, that's a temporary excavation, something that happens. You know, you dig the foundation, you pour the footing, you pour the foundation wall, and probably a week after you dig the foundation, it's backfilled. So there's not a lot of really fill generated there, but I will add some stockpiling provisions to the erosion control plan.
Great. Now, go ahead.
And if I could just interject here, this is Landis. So Dan, I had mentioned to Dan before that the land disturbance permit on our erosion control plan, we would like those stockpile areas, those clean out areas, those provisions for protecting the basins that we don't want just to show up, because that's a big document that gets put aside. We would like you to think about the site and specifics on the plan of how you're going to handle those items.
Yeah, no problem. We'll add that information. I'd like to meet with you guys first, just to make sure I understand all the questions, and then we'll add that to the plan.
Another question. You guys are doing SWIP inspections?
Well, someone from the applicant side will do SWIP inspections. It may be me, it may be the applicant, it may be somebody that they employ. It's not determined at this point.
Okay. Is there any, and you guys are going to do SWIP reports? Is there any way
Yeah,
we could? Okay. Is there any way we could be CC'd on those?
Oh yeah, there's a standardized SWIP report in the SWIP, and they're filled out every 2 weeks. And yeah, they can be provided to the commission. Absolutely.
That's usually one of our conditions, Dean.
Okay, Bailey,
No questions at this time. Thank you.
Doug?
Yes, the 3 infiltration basins are located on 3 of the 5 lots that are going to be built. How will the maintenance of those infiltration basins be handled? Is there going to be a homeowners association, or does it fall upon the individual lot owners that have a basin?
Walpole prefers the practice of requiring the individual lot owners to be responsible for the maintenance of whatever stormwater components are on their lot. So lot 1, the basin would be owned and operated by the owner of lot 1. Lot 2 will own and operate infiltration basin 2, and the owner of lot 4 will own and operate infiltration basin 1.
So I'm thinking, if, just for example, if the owner for lot 4 is not very diligent with his maintenance, it can have an impact on the infiltration basin on lot 2, since they're connected, right?
Yeah, I mean, the applicant's council will prepare an O&M covenant with the town of Walpole, and that is, it's pretty standardized at this point. Phil Mackey is the applicant's counsel. We'll submit that as part of the planning board process, and that will be reviewed by town council to make sure there are adequate protections about situations like that. Basically, the way the covenant works is the town has the right to enter and remedy, and then to charge the individual lot owner who's not fulfilling his or her obligations for the work that the town incurred if it becomes necessary. It usually doesn't become necessary. Typically the town would just send a notice to a lot owner saying, you're not doing what you need to do, get it done by a certain date, and that usually resolves the issue.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
Okay, Emilio,
No questions right now.
Betsy?
Yeah, I had a question about lot 4, but I may have answered it during the time that I was waiting. But so it looks like if there's an overflow event, which probably is rare, it actually discharges onto another person's land. So I was thinking about that while I was waiting. Was the flow going that way anyway? I mean, was that the general? Explain
Yes.
why it's okay for it to discharge onto someone's land, and I suspect it's because the flow was already going toward that wetland. Is that correct, or?
Sure. If you look at existing conditions, you can see that there's a ridge right here. You can read the contours. There's a ridge here, and all the runoff from this area runs down here into the IVW. Everything else runs down towards Peach Street. So we have a responsibility in our design to kind of maintain existing drainage patterns. So, we have some discharge towards Peach Street via overland flow from some of the lots. All the road runoff is taken care of, but we also have discharge to the property to the north. And our job is to maintain or lower peak rate and volume of that runoff towards that property, and we've done that. If you look at the stormwater report, we're reducing peak rate and volume, kind of in round numbers by half from the site. So it's so that's why it's there.
All right, that's a good answer, Dan. But now I find a follow-up question that maybe this is just nothing that can be done about. Is that going to choke that wetland or deprive that wetland of being a wetland, or what?
I would not say so. I mean, that, basically we're recharging the groundwater table, which supports wetlands in the area. So I don't think that will be an issue. Let me just look at those particular calculations. Yeah, we do have some reduction in rate and volume, but all that water, remember, all that water is going into the ground. So that infiltration supports groundwater elevations, which supports wetlands hydrology. And a lot of wetlands hydrology is not really runoff. Runoff kind of comes and goes, but it's the groundwater elevations that are important for that.
Okay, good. Thanks, Dan.
Al?
Well, I'm concerned about the stockpiling of, like when they build the road, where's all the topsoil going? I don't see any place for stockpiling it. I don't see any place for stockpiling for 5 foundations. That's a sizable amount of soils of 2 different types. Nowadays, topsoil is a premium, so I'm sure they're going to separate that from the other soils. And that means we have quite a bit of stockpiling, and there's no provisions for that on the plan. So before we close this, I think we have to see some of that, make sure that it's not just being stripped and exported somewhere else.
I'll add that to the plan, Al. Understand too that the house constructions don't all occur simultaneously. They usually occur one at a time. But I will add to the plan phase 1 stockpiling for the road construction, phase 2 stockpiling for the individual lot construction activities.
Anything else, Al?
No, that's my major concern here. I think the stormwater is taken care of, but I don't see the stockpiling situation because that could be a problem.
Okay, just to follow up on Betsy's question regarding the groundwater or is the runoff and getting into the ground, are we actually getting as much going to that wetland area as there was prior to construction?
There is a reduction in the amount of runoff in that general direction.
Okay, runoff, but what about the total that would get into the groundwater table is,
No, we're putting more into the groundwater table than currently goes to the groundwater table.
so,
Less surface runoff, more groundwater recharge.
okay, in that direction towards towards that wetland. Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
All right. Anyone in the audience have any questions? Please identify yourself for the record. You see anybody, Landis, who's trying to make a comment?
So if there's anyone in the audience, you can just unmute yourself and state your name. Or you can say something in the chat.
Okay, it doesn't appear though we have no one's trying to get in.
Not as far as I can tell, no.
Okay, and we have two issues here, right? One is the determination applicability and the other is a land disturbance permit.
That's correct.
Can we settle the determination of applicability now and then continue the hearing for the land disturbance?
I just assume that we continued everything, if you don't
Everything?
mind, Mr. Chairman.
Okay.
Yeah, we're gonna submit a plan revision. You know, Landis has comments, Carl will have comments, the planning board will have comments. You guys have just added comments, so we could just continue everything. I'm thinking May 26th if you have, I think that's one of your hearing dates.
Is that,
No, That's the one I was thinking of.
is that our date, May 26th?
So we have. I don't have anything. Did you see that on our schedule?
No, I didn't see your
Just
schedule. I
going
just
By
assumed.
the second and fourth, yeah.
Yeah,
Right,
exactly.
so tonight we were just gonna firm that up. May,
We're gonna make that 7 PM. Is the May 26th, is that the proper date?
I'm okay.
Yeah, it's
26th.
it's May
Yeah, it
20
is.
Yeah, we had a meeting then.
What I had on my,
Okay.
on the agenda was wrong, so it's the 26th, the 11th and the 26th.
Okay, do we have
well,
any,
the 12th and the 26th, Landis.
So the 12th and 26th, sorry, okay, yeah.
do we have anything, so we have nothing on, so we can schedule this for
We have
7?
nothing yet for that date, no. So it could be 7 o'clock on the 26th.
Okay, so someone make that a motion to continue this until May 26th at 7 PM.
I'll move
So
it.
moved.
Oh, I'll second it then.
Okay, Al made the motion, second by Betsy. All in favor, Dean,
Aye.
Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Right.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thanks, Dan.
Thank you very much. And one
Thanks,
other
Dan.
topic, I can hang around if you want, but we have requested a continuance for also Rabi Estates, and I would just note that we'd be looking for May 12th on that one. Landis, if that's okay.
Okay, we have to, well, I guess it is past the 7:15 deadline time slot, so.
I think we managed to do that. Okay. Since Dan has made that request, does he have to
So what day
Meeting
again,
until then?
Dan?
May 12th.
The first meeting in May.
Okay,
Um,
so that could be 7 again if you want.
We don't have anything else for that.
No,
Okay, so May 12th.
so that would be the notice of intent for 32 Starlight Drive, Al Sarabi family.
Okay, so
You
we
haven't
got-
technically opened the hearing, but I guess it's
no,
continue.
we'll read that in, but then Dan doesn't have to hang around.
Yep. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, all right. Our next
for your
hearing.
time.
Let's see, is Gimley Road. Okay.
Kinley Road.
Town of Walpole, notice of intent, Conservation Commission, public hearing in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Notice hereby given the intent of Christopher and Alyssa O'Grady to remove an existing deck and construct a covered porch and open deck at 37 Ginley Road. Plans are filed with the Conservation Commission office. Public hearing in the above matter will be held during virtually accessible video meeting on April 14th, 2021, beginning at 7:10 p.m. All interested persons requested to be present. Contact Conservation at 508-660-7253 for access information to virtual meeting. Okay, representing the applicant.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sue Pace. I'm representing Chris and Alyssa O'Grady for the request of determination of applicability for 37 Ginley Road. It's proposed to demolish the existing the existing porch and construct an elevated and enclosed porch and deck. So I'm just gonna share my screen. So right here is 37 Ginley Road. The site currently drains from the roadway towards the rear of the property in the bordering vegetated wetlands to Cobb's Pond. You can see the contours here for Mass GIS. This is the DEP wetland arc at the rear corner of their property line. The existing deck is currently 100 feet, almost exactly from the wetlands line. These are the Fema flood zones also at the rear of the property. This is what the back of the house currently looks like with the existing deck. And this is the depression in the rear of the yard. It's proposed to construct an enclosed portion of an enclosed porch, as well as an open deck and staircase that would lead down to the backyard. So this is the rear view of the house. And this is the side view as it'll look to the abutters. The only proposed land disturbance would be for the structural supports for the deck and the enclosed porch. And there's approximately 11 square feet of disturbance proposed in the rear grassed yard. That area would drain to the depression in the rear of the yard, where it would pond briefly and then overflow towards the back gate. Right here. So this is the low point of the yard. It's proposed to install hay bales along the rear fence in order to contain any stormwater runoff that could contain sediment before flowing to the wetlands in the rear. There is no proposed material stockpiles except for, briefly while the footings are being dug. So there'll be no granular stockpiles except for that material that's excavated and then backfilled and loamed and seeded. The only construction stockpiles proposed may be lumber and other building materials, but no stockpiles are proposed within 50 feet of the wetland, and the closest point of work to the existing wetlands is 84 feet.
Okay, thank you. Landis?
Yes, I went out and visited the site and met with the applicant and confirmed that the wetlands is the area beyond the fence that was just shown in the photograph, and that the work is really going to be minimum disturbance within the buffer zone and you know, at 80 feet plus away. So, and I would just say that you can use straw wattles or straw, not hay bales. We don't use hay bales anymore. So, or black silt fence, something like that. But I did not see any disturbance in the area of the wetlands.
Okay. Dean, any questions or comments?
No, maybe the footings, those are just going to be concrete sonotubes.
Yes.
Wish it-
So right here is the typical pier
Pier.
detail for the structural drawings, and they're about I want to say 18 inches wide.
So there's your disturbance.
Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, Bailey,
No comments, thanks.
Doug,
No comments.
Emilio,
All set.
Betsy,
No comment.
Al,
No comment.
Jack, no comments. So, we're looking, anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? Please identify yourself for the record. Hearing none, we'll proceed. Landis, you're recommending a -3
That's correct.
with the condition of the silt control.
Yeah, silt fence or straw wattles should be
Yeah.
fine.
Okay. Someone want to make that a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that was Al and Betsy. All in favor? Dean?
Aye.
We're closing the hearing first, right? We didn't close the hearing?
Nope.
No. This is a vote to close the hearing. And that was Al and Betsy second. Is that correct?
Yep.
Okay. All in favor? Dean?
Aye.
Bailey?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. And this is for the order, the
Determination.
determination. Someone with the siltation control. Someone want to move that?
So moved.
Second.
There was Al and Betsy. All in favor? Dean?
Aye.
Bailey?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Emilio?
Aye.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thank you.
Thank you so much for your time. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Next. The Town of Walpole, notice of intent, Conservation Commission public hearing in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Notice hereby giving the intent Trails Committee for the installation of trail boardwalk on property at Adams Farm, North Street, map 7, lot 6. Plans and file the Conservation Commission office. Public hearing on the above matter will be held in virtually accessible video meeting on March 24th, 2021, beginning at 8:35 p.m. All interested person requests to be present, contact Conservation at 508-660-7253 for access to information to virtual meeting. Hearing is opened and continued, and we needed to get a DEP number, which I believe we have received. Is that correct, Landis?
That's correct. We have DP 3151247 and no specific comments from DP.
Okay. I guess the next question, do we have anybody representing the applicant for the Trails Committee, or did Gary or Chris?
Neither of them contacted me prior to, other than the email that you received as well.
Okay. We did receive an email from Gary Riggett, who is the head of the Trails Committee, locating the trail on a map. And he was going to do some additional checking for the actual GPS coordinates. But I think the main issue was we needed a DP number. No, so I guess there's nothing much more to present other than what was presented at the last meeting as to how this would be constructed. So Landis, you have anything more to add?
No, just that it's a boardwalk that would be constructed through the wetlands with minimum disturbance of trees or other vegetation, and then just over a small stream with nothing in the stream itself. It's going to go from bank to bank, and then also just that the boardwalk should be, my recommended conditions are that the boardwalk should be constructed not to obstruct the flow of the stream. The trail shall be constructed to avoid the removal of trees. The boardwalk shall be checked at least biannually, and accumulated leaves and sticks removed below the boardwalk so they don't cause a blockage, and that any construction materials be removed from the site.
Okay. So any other questions, Dean?
Nope.
Okay, Bailey,
No,
Doug,
Looks good to me.
Medio,
No, good project. I have no questions though.
Betsy,
No comments.
Al,
Only comment is that somebody take charge of this inspection that Landis is tying to the project to make sure it's cleaned out under the boardwalk. I think that's going to be an important thing.
as I mentioned at the last meeting, I've been involved with this through the Friends of Adams Farm and the Adams Farm committees, and I will plan to be involved during the construction of this boardwalk. So yeah, that'll be taken care of, Al. And also I noted that I would abstain since I've been involved with this as far as the voting goes. So anybody in the audience have any questions or comments? Please identify yourself for the record.
Jack, it's Emilio again. Is this boardwalk by the property that was recently purchased?
The trail starts on that Pierce parcel that we bought, but it actually, most of the trail, if not all of it, is actually in existing Adams Farm property, which is under jurisdiction of Conservation Commission.
Okay.
Emilia, were you absent from the last meeting on this?
I was.
Okay, so Jack, you're not gonna vote, you're gonna abstain, Emilio can't vote, and Dean can't vote, but we still have enough members.
Okay. So someone want to make a motion to close the hearing?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, that was Al and Betsy, and all in favor. Dean?
Well, he's not voting because he
Well,
wasn't around for the first hearing.
Vote to close the hearing or not?
I thought it's closed, sure.
No.
But
Okay, so you abstain. Okay. Bailey?
aye.
Okay, Doug,
Aye.
Medio, you're gonna abstain? Yes,
Yeah, I guess so.
okay. Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
and Jack, will all abstain. Okay, and the order would just include that, which Landis noted in her comments. Anything else? So someone make a motion to issue an order subject to the comments as noted earlier by Landis.
So moved.
Second.
There's Al and Betsy. Okay, all in favor. So Dean, you abstain.
I abstain.
Okay. Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Abstain.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack abstain. Okay, thank you. Takes care of that one. What's next? Town of Walpole, notice of intent Conservation Commission public hearing in accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act. Town of Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw, notice by giving the intent of Shakwi Al-Sarabi Family Revocable Trust to convert a driveway into a road for 4 single-family house lots and appurtenances at 32 Starlight Drive, Walpole. Plans are filed at the Conservation Commission office. Public hearing on the above matter will be held Walpole Town Hall, 135 School Street, February 26, 2020, beginning at 7:05 PM. All interested persons request to be present. Hearing's been opened and continued. And we have a request from the applicant's representative, Mr. Dan Merrickin, to continue this hearing until May 12th at 7 PM. Someone want to make that a motion?
So moved.
Second,
There's Al and Betsy, all in favor. Dean,
I abstain.
Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Aye.
Betsy,
aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, that's that one. What's next? Okay, Town of Walpole, request for determination of applicability. We are, time-wise, we're okay. Town of Walpole, request for determination of applicability, Conservation Commission public hearing, accordance with Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40, the Wetlands Protection Act, Town of Walpole Wetlands Protection Bylaw. Notice by giving the intent of Wall Street Development to determine if land located at map 19, lot 183 Pinnacle Drive is land formerly associated with the historic mill complex, therefore not subject to the regulations as work in the riverfront area. Plans are filed at the Conservation Commission office. Public hearing on the above matter will be held in Walpole Town Hall via virtually accessible video on November 4th, 2020, beginning at 7:30 PM. Contact Del Hershey at walpolemass.gov or 508-660-7253 for Zoom information. All interested persons request to be present. Hearing's been opened and continued. And do we have, Mr. Petrosi is here. Representing the applicant.
Yes, Lou Petrosi, Wall Street Development. How are you? How is everybody?
We're all good, I think.
I'm jumping from Zoom meeting to Zoom meeting
Okay.
without having to drive anywhere. It's beautiful. So
Go ahead.
I can give the board a little bit of what we're, how we're progressing on this. I had a brief conversation with Landis today, and we've assembled quite a bit of information that is exceeds the ability to email in one data file. Their photographs, their maps, the plans, and so on regarding the disposition of this property as it was part of the Bird Mill complex. I did today submit via email the original, well, not the original, but the survey plans prepared by Sanborn back in 1934 that depicted the layout of the Bird Mill complex as it extended along Bird Pond. In addition to that, we had an aerial photograph from, I believe it was 1978, where I had GLM superimpose the existing lot lines on that photograph so that from a reference standpoint, you can tell the location of what was the Bird Mill portions of the Bird Mill complex in relationship to the existing lot configuration that's there right now, the drainage easement and the lot lines and so on. I don't know if Landis would be able to put that up. I don't have the ability to do it because I go to John Gloss's school.
Yeah, but I have a question, Lou. So
Sure.
I'm holding this booklet that you gave us weeks or months ago. It has the Sanborn plan in it.
Oh, does it? Okay,
Oh, yeah.
fabulous.
And it's got the aerial photo and it's got a ton of other stuff. What I'm recalling from that meeting is, this is great. I mean, it's actually a really nicely put together. I love seeing the Sanborn. It's great.
Yeah.
But what I'm recalling from that meeting months ago is we said, we need to actually have your surveyor or engineer locate on the ground your concrete structures, your former, pavements, your walls or whatever. I mean, because that's what we have to go by. And so that's what we thought we were going to get.
I agree. So,
Got all
and so
this.
that process is ongoing. It's not a simple process. But what we did on the photograph of the aerial photograph is impose the lot line. You don't have it in that package.
Yeah, I think we do. That's the thing.
No, you don't. You don't have, Landis, can you put that photograph
No.
up?
The information was submitted today at 5 o'clock.
Okay,
It does not make this meeting.
I just want to make sure it isn't the same
Alrighty.
information, just bigger and more bulky.
No.
It doesn't have the information that we actually asked for.
It's definitely not in that package. It's definitely not bulky. It's one photograph that essentially, the reverse of that photograph would be to put the area on a plan as you're suggesting. Now, unfortunately, because I'm such a good client for all my engineers, they're busy on a lot of things. So I understand that Paul McManus is marking those areas out in the next couple of days. We'll get them surveyed. We'll get them put on a plan. But I think the photograph will be helpful to the commissioners because it shows the lot lines in relationship to what was the Bird Mill complex. If Landis isn't willing to share it because it came in
Well,
so late.
and in order to comply and get all the information out to the commissioners and the public and put it on the website, we need to have the information. I think our bylaw says 2 weeks. We often stretch it for a week, sometimes a couple of days, but 5 o'clock, at 5 o'clock before the meeting, that's not going to happen. So I'm sure this information will be very helpful. So I think we'll have to see it next time.
If I had my engineers here, you would allow them to share their screen, wouldn't you? I mean, I think it's ridiculous, but if that's how you want to do it, then I prefer to continue the meeting for another 30 days. And we'll get what we can get into the board a week before the next meeting, and we'll go from there. I mean, what do you want me to say?
Okay, I think that's appropriate, that we continue the hearing and then we have a chance. You can get the information to us with sufficient time to distribute it to the other commissioners and that the office has a chance to review it. So you want to continue the hearing, so that would be a May 12th meeting. And when can you get that information into the office so everybody can have a chance to look at it?
Well, I'll try to get that to you by a week prior.
Thank you.
Preferably sooner than a week prior to the 12th, if you can.
I'll try. Not up to me.
I understand.
So any materials can certainly be mailed to us or dropped off in hard copies. It actually, the requirement is to drop off hard copies, not just digital copies, but we do put the digital copies on the website for abutters or any interested parties as well. It's available for conservation commissioners to review, but we do need hard copies in-house, please.
Okay, so that'll be May 12th. We have one hearing on May 12th. It was 7 o'clock, so we make this at what was that, also Robbie? Going
7:10.
Continued. I'd say, I was gonna say 7:15.
10.
Okay, that's, so May 12th, 7:15. Someone make a motion to continue the hearing till May 12th at 7:15.
7:15. Okay,
Second.
Okay, that was Al and second by Betsy. Okay, all in favor. Dean,
I abstain.
Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, thanks, Lou.
All right, thank you very much. I'm sorry for the delay.
Should Lou stay for the Boyden Estates thing?
What,
Should
What
Lou
are we
stay
doing?
if he wants?
with who?
Lou, Boyden Estates.
Oh, a discussion. Yes, we had something going on there. Let me take care of the next one they've asked to continue, so that won't be long. We can get to that, Lou. If you don't mind holding on?
No, that's fine. I got nothing else to do.
Okay. Okay, Town of Walpole Conservation Commission Notice of Intent Public Hearing. According to Massachusetts General Laws, Chapter 131, Section 40 of the Wetlands Protection Act, notice hereby giving the intent of 55BH LLC, 55SS LLC for the construction of 300 residential units in a mixture townhome, single-family home, and apartment structures with associated grading, utilities, and drainage, a portion of which is within the outer riparian zone of Cedar Swamp Brook, underfoot BVW, and 3 on-site vernal pools located at 55 Summer Street, map 308, block 52, lots 56 and 60, and a portion of 307-52-78. Plans are on file with the Conservation Commission office and online on the town website. Public hearing on the above matter will be held via Zoom conference June 24th, 2020, beginning at 7 PM. All interested person requests to be present. Hearing's been opened and continued. And we have a letter from the applicant dated April 7th, writing today to request continuation to April 28th, 2021. The hearing scheduled for April 14th, 2021. So let's see. What else do we have on for the 28th?
We have a 7 o'clock and a 7:30.
7:30. Let's make this at 7:45. Someone want to move that to continue the 55 Summer Street hearing till 7:45 on April 28th?
So move.
We have a second?
Yep, second.
Okay, that was Al and Betsy. All in favor, Dean,
I abstain.
Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so the hearing's continued till then. Just as a point, I think Landis sent you some information, a letter with comments from Beta that we had review the January 27th plan set. And Beta made their comments. There were responses from the applicant. And I think you all have that, so you have a chance to look at that before the next hearing. Also, just for your aware that Landis and I had a Zoom meeting with the applicant on and reviewed basically the Beta letter. Beta was also involved with that discussion. So just hopefully everybody can take a look at that letter and comments prior to the April 28th. Is that the date we decided?
Did you guys get that? Did I send that out? Because I might have forgotten to get it. Betsy, did you get it? The beta
When-
report?
When maybe. I have a lot of beta reports, let me tell you. I got a pile of beta reports.
I'm
When
gonna
did
send
you
it,
send this beta report out?
I'm gonna send it out to everybody again, because I may have forgotten, and I do apologize. I knew they were gonna continue tonight, so it wasn't going to be pertinent, but I will send it out.
Check March 15th. You might have, I think you sent it, but
No, it would have been April 1st.
oh, okay.
We met with them April 1st, so.
No, I don't think we have a
after that.
recent beta, I don't think.
I'll send it again.
Thank you.
Okay,
Yeah, I don't have
Thank
a
you.
copy.
okay, and you'll get a copy to Al.
Al, you don't have a copy? I
No.
thought I put a copy in your packet.
Not today.
Okay. It will go out to everybody.
Okay, good, thank you. Okay, what are we have something to discuss with Mr. Petrosi about Boyden Place. What's going on there?
Well, we can continue the conversation with Lot 6 in that the commission had asked Mr. Petrosi and his engineer, Rob Truex from GLM Engineering, to provide the commission with a fix for the drainage issue that's been occurring out there with a significant amount of water flowing from one side of Boyden Lane to the other where the little wetlands is and overflowing onto Lot 5. I believe Rob Truex sort of presented a possibility of extending the wall and putting a outlet in the wall and constructing a swale. But we have not received any drawings or plans or anything further since then. So that's the issue on the agenda. Today I learned also there's some more issues on the other side of Boyden Lane on Lot 8 with some drainage issues that are occurring behind the house that's causing erosion and sedimentation to occur to the no alteration area and the wetlands. So perhaps you can speak to both those points.
Well, I have a question. Did we have a deadline for getting some plans from Rob? A plan from Rob?
Yes, this meeting, there was supposed to be
This
plans.
Was a deadline
provided.
to get the plan
Yes.
for the first issue.
What
May
can
I-
you
may I speak?
fill us in, Mr. Petrosi? Can you
Yeah.
fill us in what's going on?
With regard to the Lot 6 issue, my understanding was that Rob Truax, GLM, had prepared a list of actions that he preferred to take. He had a conversation with Landis. I'm not aware, I wasn't at the last meeting, as you probably know, but I wasn't aware that any resolution had been arrived at. Now, without, we plan on extending the wall that is in place, extending it. I mean, we had, this is not a reoccurring, the way it's been represented is that every time it rains, we have a problem. It's not a problem. We had 2 instances where when there was heavy snowfall on the ground and we had heavy rain, there were a couple of instances where that area filled up and water overtopped. As I explained to you at one of the meetings when I appeared, was that there's a simple solution in my estimation, is that, I put 2 hay bales in front of the inlet of that culvert and there wasn't another problem ever. So I'm not going to go running around spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a solution that may or may not be necessary, like we had before with the replication area, which turned out to be a simple fix. So what we're doing, not so much for, for the homeowner as well, we're going to regrade that area. We're going to extend the wall. We're going to regrade that area. We're going to create an overflow type remedy via a swale so that it doesn't, if that were to happen again, it won't go onto the neighbor's lot. So I'm not aware of any plans that were supposed to be submitted to the commission.
Yeah,
So-
yeah, there were. And so I want to make a suggestion that actually, because Lou, you're paying the bills. I mean, Rob's not going to come all by himself. So Rob needs to come to the next meeting to show us the plans that he was supposed to be showing us at this meeting. And you need to tell him that because you're the boss.
Yeah, I am the boss, but my understanding, again, is that he had a conversation with Landis, and I don't know what the result of that conversation was. And he proposed a certain, like we're talking about, extend the wall, provide an outflow with a swale out to the back so that it doesn't, if it were to happen again, wouldn't drain on the neighbor's property. I don't, other than that, I don't know what other remedy would be referring to. It doesn't
Well,
require.
what we need, Lou, is whatever you're doing, you're changing construction, doing something. So we need that shown on a plan, and he was going to give us that information.
Yeah, Jack, I'm sorry, but we built the wall according to what was shown on the plan. In fact, we even built a better wall that was shown on the plan. That was supposed to be a boulder wall. We built a nice Versalock, nice wall, decorative wall around that area. And we've done it the way it was proposed on the plan. There's nothing that's changing. The only thing that we probably didn't do is we didn't carry it far enough over at the height of the rest of the wall, so that perhaps that is the solution in and of itself. But we're not changing anything.
Well, you just said you're going to
We're
You're
gonna
gonna
make an accommodation. We're gonna make
wall.
we're gonna make an accommodation to the commission to provide this so-called overflow swale. But,
well, again, we need to see that shown on a plan.
all right, I will do that, but
So ask Rob to come next meeting. You can come too, but Rob, to show us the plan because something's going wrong with your drainage system and
Yeah.
it's affecting lot 6 and 8.
well,
So-
no, lot 8 is lot number 2. It's across the street. It's not related to this, but I'll move on to lot 2 now.
Well, wait a minute, Lou, if I could, since my name keeps on being brought up here. I did have a conversation with Rob Truax, and he verbally presented his scenario of extending the wall, putting a hole in the wall and constructing a swale. And I said, maybe that might work. I don't know. We need to see it on a plan. I'll meet you out in the field. We can discuss. And then I did not hear anything back from him. I think what the commission is trying to tell you, and I am as well as the enforcement agent, is there is an issue that's occurred there. It might have occurred once or twice this year, but it occurred at very heavy rain events that we know do happen. They happen almost every year. Sometimes it's once, sometimes it's twice. Seems to occur more often than it used to. And more water than was represented in the subdivision plan is flowing into that little wetlands in front of lot 6. And because of the wall on the house and the way everything is constructed, it's overflowing onto lot 5 and going down the slope into their driveway. That
Agreed.
can't happen.
Yeah.
The water that's flowing, I guess probably before, it was either all infiltrating into the ground or some of it was overflowing over the land, which wasn't picked up. It wasn't seen. Now it's happening. So that's what you have to present to the commission, is how you're going to address that. That's what you need to do. It's not what we need to do.
No,
So
I
I want to
understand.
stress that it's in your court. It's your responsibility to remedy the situation and get the plans and discuss it with me.
But don't imply that we are in non-compliance with anything. We built it
You
according to.
are in
the plan.
non-compliance because your plan and your stormwater plan and your watershed map and everything didn't represent this
That-
properly, and
that-
it needs to. So,
Landis,
yes.
Landis, I'm not gonna argue with you, but that argument
Don't
will
have to.
not hold up anywhere in life. We built it according to a plan that the commission approved.
That-
Everything,
Lou,
Right, I
hold on.
think the regulations say you have to comply with the Wetlands Protection Act, not just comply with the plan, so.
well,
The
tell me
plan,
what
obviously,
the
Lou,
violation is then.
Lou, just a minute. The plan, obviously, I agree you followed the plan. The plan is not working. Therefore, you've got to make some revisions so that we don't go through this again, okay? So if you will get back to your engineer and have them come up with the revisions that he said he was going to do, and we take a look, and hopefully he's done enough work on that, that it will resolve the situation. Is that understood now?
I'll do my best, but don't imply that we're in non-compliance under any circumstances. We
Well,
are
it's not
in
working.
non-compliance.
You are,
It's not working, Lou, so there's
we're
something
not.
wrong there.
You are.
Okay, well, we'll do our
Okay.
best, we'll do our best, but I don't think you'd even have a shot at non-compliance anywhere.
you are.
Let's move on to, I have to go shortly, so let's move on to what you have to talk about on lot 2.
Oh, sick. Okay, so lot 2, which is lot 8, which is, we also have an order of conditions on for the construction of a single family house. And I was out there today, and in the back of the yard, there is water flowing through their yard. I could see where there was a significant of water that was puddling in areas in the back of the yard, and where it had been flowing down the slope towards the no alteration area and the wetlands, which is causing sedimentation and erosion. That needs to be addressed.
Well, it is being addressed. Let me just tell you the circumstances before you put that all on my shoulders. The neighbor in the back, who is elevated probably 30 feet above our elevation, the new homeowner came in and they did a complete regrading of their backyard. All of the water now is directed towards the backyard of 8 Boyden. And it's a substantial amount of water that's going there. And, you know, obviously, we didn't sell Waterview property to anybody. We want to correct it. So because we were in the middle of the winter and it was so muddy and we couldn't do anything, I've sent text messages or communications to the homeowner in back. They planted a line of trees and they altered the topography enough so that the water does not go in its natural course down the hill. It goes into the backyard of these people.
Which neighbor are you referring to?
The one that has up to the left, you know where that concrete retaining wall is?
Yes.
They own that strip of land, that from the retaining wall to the back of 8 Boyden, they own that property. And they completely regraded, they cut trees and they regraded that backyard area. And nobody realized at the time what they were doing was going to change the water, but it did. So I offered, and I'm offering, and we have somebody going there tomorrow to regrade that with a swale along the tree line. If you recall, Landis, there's a tree line
Yep.
there.
Mhm.
On both sides of the tree line to create a swale so the water does not go onto these people's properties, that it hits the tree line and gets directed away from the properties into the wetlands. And so now's the time to do it. Hopefully we get it done before it rains tomorrow, and then we can seed it. And then hopefully that solves the problem. I had originally put a silt sock, a 12-inch sock there, or whatever they call it, filter or mitt, hoping that that would stop the water from flowing onto their property. But if you, I don't know if you walked out there, you could see all of the silt that was accumulating in that corner that was it was coming off of their property, and that's where it was sitting. So, you know, I have an obligation to my homeowners to correct that problem, and we're gonna try and start that tomorrow, weather permitting. And hopefully that will, once it's all seeded and the grass takes, on the swale, it'll correct that problem. The
So,
same thing on the slope in the front, Landis. I know you guys were looking at it today. You know, we tried to hydroseed this property in the fall last year. We're hoping for some better results, but the whole area has to be reseeded, and now's the time to do it. And they've made a commitment to me that the landscaper would take care of it. Now's the time to do
so
it.
if you're going to construct a swale to the rear of the property on lot 8, so you're going to be upgrade away from the house, from the tree line.
Yeah, I'm actually gonna go on the other people's property.
Okay, so you're going to have provisions for erosion controls so that when you
I-
construct that swale,
I
you'll
will.
have.
Yeah, I will. I'll put something down at the foot of the slope to avoid any kind of sedimentation going into the wetlands. I think there's something there now, but I haven't checked it. I haven't been out there in quite a while, so.
Yeah, I think you might have need a couple check dams or something like that if
Okay.
you're going to convey all that water that's coming down the hill into a
Yeah.
swale.
Yeah, no, I agree. So we're gonna do our best for the homeowner, and hopefully I don't have any pushback from the neighbor, because, you know, they seem to think that they didn't do anything wrong. And I'm not asking them to make any financial contribution, just allow me to go on the property and straighten it out. And hopefully we can take care of that. So that's really what's happening there. So
Okay.
can I go now?
Yep, thank you, Lou.
All right, we'll do the best that we can on lot 6. I'll try and get you some information. I wasn't aware that he was supposed to come with plans, to be honest. I didn't know where that got
Well,
left off.
you were aware this was an issue and the commission had asked you to address it. So we'd like to move it forward and not have to every meeting kind of reach out to you or Rob and ask you what you've done. So
No, but I reserve Wednesdays. I reserve it 2 times a month, Wednesdays with the Conservation Commission.
We enjoy
it
your
seems like you
company.
have conflicts.
All
Thanks.
right, no conflict with the next meeting. I'm on it May 5th for that one, so we're all set. Thank you very much.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
Bye-bye.
Okay. Okay, we have, all right, report. On your agenda, we noticed there's a reorganization of the board. So what I would ask you to do is to think about it next meeting, and we can decide what to do about elections for continuing on the, just so I don't know when we did last. So we could just think about it, see what we want to do at the next meeting for who's for basically chair and vice chair. So just put that on your thing to think about for the next meeting. All right, our May meeting should be okay. Town meeting is scheduled for May 1st. I would expect that would probably be done all in that one day. I don't know what they would do, but normally if they continue, it would probably be another Saturday if it has to be continued. So I don't think it will interfere with our meetings. Anything on the Pinnacle Point Trail? I know you would send something to. town
Actually, do we want to
council
talk
on
about the
this.
July meeting, Landis? Did you want to say something about July?
Yeah. Do you want to schedule a July meeting, Jack? We don't have that scheduled either.
We don't have one scheduled?
Not a date, no.
How come?
I thought we had that scheduled.
Because when I got home, I looked at my calendar. I got it on there for the 14th.
You
14th.
have the 14th?
Yeah. I mean, it's the second Wednesday.
Well, that's fine with me. I didn't have it on my schedule.
Yeah, I thought we had, I don't have that in front of me, but I thought we had, so that we
Okay.
would do the 14th for July. and then the 11th in August.
Yeah,
Second-
Linus, is that
second
okay? Because you had some
Wednesday.
plans in July.
That's fine.
Okay,
And then do we have anything, do we have it noted for August?
Well, you said August 11th?
The 11th would be a normal,
Okay. That's fine. I don't know, those were blank on the agenda that I have, but it's a draft, so I don't know, maybe it was done. maybe- Sorry.
okay, okay, well,
And then May, right, May 12th and,
yeah, we have May 12th and 26th, and
Yeah.
then June,
Okay. all right, I'll make sure to post that on the website.
okay. All right, we have minutes for, Valerie, I don't think you sent minutes out for the March 24th meeting.
I did. I sent them a while ago though, because we had 3 weeks between meetings this time.
Okay. Okay. I don't have them with me, but sure I looked at them. So someone want to move the minutes for March 24th? Someone move those?
I'll move them.
I
What was
thought
it?
I did, but I'll second if you want to move them.
Oh, okay. So it was Emilio and Betsy?
Sure.
Okay. And all in favor? Dean?
I abstain.
Okay, Bailey?
Aye.
Doug?
Aye.
Emilio?
All right.
Betsy?
Aye.
Al?
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay. And did you also send out November 4th?
Yep.
You did. Okay. So someone want to move those?
I'll move those.
Okay, then I'll second them.
Okay, that was Emilio and Betsy. And all in favor, Dean,
I abstain.
Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Emilio,
All right.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so they're all right. And you sent some more.
I
It's
did.
not on the agenda.
Yeah, I sent them after we posted it, so I'll add those to the next agenda.
You do that.
So it's not-
Okay. I have a, let me find them here. Okay. If you have those handy or you want to talk to me later, do you have them handy, Valerie?
Yep.
Okay. People in attendance,
Yep.
it's, you have Lou Petrini, it's, I think, Lou Petrosi.
Oh, yep.
Okay, that was on the attendees. Okay, on this page 2, the continued ANRAD at the bottom, 7:10 PM, continued ANRAD, John Hassenjager.
Yep.
Okay, says on the second line, while he recorded that he watched and you didn't fill in the meeting. And I did,
Okay.
I don't know what the date was, but I think it was probably in January or February of,
Okay. I'll go check the recording.
yeah. But I did watch that on TV, but I think it should be noted which meeting or that it was the original hearing.
Yep.
And then on page 3, partway down the page in the first paragraph, there's a blank space. You see that? There's a superseding order from DEP serves at the commission's technical.
Yep.
Should be something filled in there.
Yep. There should.
The commission
I'll
technical, yeah, I'm not sure what, so
either.
I think it's probably pertinent that those be filled in. All right, so you'll put those on for the next meeting? Okay. All right. Now we've got enforcement orders. We just reviewed Boyden Estates, nothing new with 1900 Main Street. Brookside Village, Landis, anything new on that?
So I have not heard anything new. I'm assuming, because I haven't heard from them, that the parties are still hashing out the expectations of the wall.
Okay. Palmer Lane, nothing new on that?
The only new with Palmer Lane is I did go out there today and talk to Michael Brait and just went over, he wanted to start rebuilding the stone wall, and he wanted to take out some of the dead wood that had been stacked on the Neponset property. And he wanted to start moving some of the big loam pile that's there. So I discussed with him that it was okay with me to start those items as long as it was okay with Neponset Land Holding, the property owners, and that when he removes the loam, he needs to install erosion control when he pulls it back. And we're still waiting for a restoration plan to come from John Glosser,
Okay.
which hopefully will come soon, because now's, soon is really the time to start doing the restoration plantings.
Okay, now we got Pinnacle Drive Lot 9.
Right, so that was on there for the Pinnacle site when Mr. Petrosi went in there and did some clear cutting prior to getting permits to expose the old foundations. And so we did request for him to put up erosion control, which he did, and there hasn't been any further action as far as I can tell. So he did satisfy the requirements of the enforcement order at the time.
Okay, so
I don't know if you
you're
want to
suggesting-
leave it there or if you want to just vacate it.
Well, it's all taken care of, right? So
Yes.
is there anything we need to vote on?
You can vote to vacate the enforcement order.
Okay, someone want to make that a motion?
I'll move to do that.
We have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, Bailey second. Okay, Betsy moved it. All in favor? Dean,
I abstain.
Bailey,
Aye.
Doug,
Aye.
Medio,
Aye.
Betsy,
Aye.
Al,
Aye.
Jack, aye. Okay, so that's vacated.
And the so I think I'm pretty sure I did send out the DP SORAD. So the DP came back with their determination, the SORAD, that it is the Bird Pond, Neponset is a river that has a riverfront area, even though it's also called a pond. So the Rivers Protection Act would apply. So they upheld the commission's decision, and then John Hassenegger, the applicant, is appealing that. So that'll go to adjudicatory hearing, and we'll wait to see what happens there.
So can I ask a question here about that?
Yeah,
I know I'm not allowed, probably can't vote on it. So
you can ask.
they wanna have this exemption that the mill is like a old historic property and not applicable, not like, doesn't have any jurisdiction for riverfront, so we have no jurisdiction on their work. Is that what they're saying?
Right. So the first thing he did was he was through his ANRAD, he was saying that it wasn't a river at all. It was just a pond because of Bird Pond. But DP ruled in favor with the commission and agreed that it did have riverine characteristics and therefore had a riverfront area. At the same time, he also submitted a request for determination for the commission to determine if it's a historic mill complex. So under the wetlands protection regulations, there is an exemption for a historic mill complex. But if you read the definition of a historic mill complex, he really has to prove the portion of the mill complex is on his site. So not just that there is a historic mill complex, but actually those areas that were used as a historic mill complex at the time. So that's what we're asking him to do. If
Does that cover your question then, Dean?
Yeah, that answered, yeah.
Okay. All right. We have a request for certificate of compliance. Is that,
Yep, so that is the Rolls-Royce site on Norfolk Street. And they did submit a request for certificate of compliance and an as-built, and the as-built was reviewed by both me and the town engineer, assistant town engineer. And there was a couple of discrepancies that we went out and did a site visit and that we wanted revised on the as-built plan. So I'm waiting for that, to receive that, and then a full certification of the detention infiltration basins before recommending the commission issue the certificate of compliance.
okay, so we'll hold off on that. Planning board comments.
Well, Jack, can we get a report on what's up with the Pinnacle Trail?
Oh, okay, I thought Landis sent a request to town council with information. I don't know if we heard anything back.
I have not heard anything back. I sent the request actually the night of the last meeting, so I made sure that it was done. And they didn't respond, and Jim followed through requesting it, that they follow through with that request. But no, I have not received any additional information from them yet.
But the information that you got, that we haven't heard about is that something from the planning board, right?
Right, so it also asked Kate to dig into their file, the planning board's file, and come up with any documents in regards to the original subdivision for Pinnacle Point, Misty Lane, which actually, it dates back way into the 80s. And it was, so back when it was a preliminary plan, the planning board, I have a document that the planning board reviewed the preliminary subdivision plan and came up with bullet points what they wanted to see on the definitive plan. And one of them was a trail easement to be shown on the definitive plan. And it was shown on the definitive plan for Pinnacle Point. And the planning board, there's another document says that all the requirements for the definitive plan were met, but it was never followed through to actually give the trail easement to the town. So, but it was certainly on the planning board's definitive plan. The planning board wanted it. It's been said the 19 years that I've been here, Mr. Hastenjager has said he's going to do it, but it was never followed through. But we do have those documents that it was supposed to be part of the subdivision, as well as part of our orders.
Okay, anything more, any other questions on that? Okay,
So now we just need to know from town council how we can proceed from here to make that happen.
okay. So planning board, do we have to advise nothing, was that planning board for the,
So the planning board, the board comments, Lincoln Estates, Lincoln Road, that is the subdivision plan that we looked at before. It's they submitted an ANRAD with the Conservation Commission, and we reviewed the wetlands out there on site. The Stop River is on the Norfolk side of the property. Most of the subdivision is outside of the wetland resource areas, but they would have to file a land disturbance permit. The original plan was pulled for administrative issues having to do with the planning board. So no, I don't think anything's really changed with the plan. But so it's the same. They'll have to file the land disturbance permit and probably determination. And the other one is, well, for New World Estates, which is the subdivision on Peach Street, which the American presented to the commission tonight. And then the third board comment is for 600 Lincoln Road, which is a scenic road, and they want to remove one pine tree.
So that's it. Anybody have anything else? Okay. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Someone to make a motion to close the hearing? The meeting?
I'll move to close.
Okay, we have a second.
Second.
Okay, all in favor, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Hi.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you.
thanks, everybody.
Good night.